Bang bang to the gang. Faithful boys in the building. P Warrior underscore Niner. Benjamin, that's good. Welcome to the podcast. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. I'm gonna say that again. Once again, this is the Faithful Boys podcast, where we bang till we can't no more. What's going on, big bro?
It's all good, dog. That motto is true. Bang, bang, till we can't no more, baby. It's all about the 49ers. And, they had the game Saturday and, won that game. And they played the second and third team guys. And they didn't had two practices. And now they getting ready to get on that flight to head out there to your neck of the woods, H-Town. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So we
yeah.
going to we gonna get to see Trey there for a half. So we better get this in, bro. Because we ain't gonna see him till September the 11th against the Bears. So we gotta look forward to this Thursday and get to see this first team out there. Get to see Trey do some things out there. So yeah, bro, that's cool. That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, bro. Definitely looking forward to the game Thursday. I went check the schedule earlier to double check. So yeah, I'll be watching front and center. Should be on TV live, so I
Yeah.
get to check it out. We'll get to talk about it.
Mm,
Depending on when it start, we probably be jumping on after he already in play. So that
mm,
should be real good. We'll be able to talk about it. Hot off the
yeah,
press.
exactly.
But getting back to the game Saturday, bro. Give me your takeaways on it.
Well, I mean, overall, they
Like
was
Purdy,
more. Yeah, well, yeah, that was what I'm saying. It's more positive than negative. I mean, they won the game and they came out with just minor injuries. I think the one receiver, Austin Mack, had a hamstring, and then the
Okay.
offensive tackle that they wind up releasing had a knee or something. So that nobody got hurt from all of the guys that they played that were second and third string guys, and that's what was one of the things we talked about. But no, I mean, Purdy looked good. You know, rolling to the right, to the left, on the run, improvising. Running the offense. I liked him. Sudfeld was Sudfeld, man. We ain't expecting him to be no dynamo movement man back there. You know what I mean? We expect him to stand in the pocket. He made some plays. You know what I'm saying? Offensive line, could have blocked a little bit better. But it's to be expected when you're playing second and third team guys. Now, as the game wore on, you saw the Masons of the world and you saw TDP started to eat out there. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Now, a lot of people was ragging on Trey Sermon because he wasn't getting no holes, but you got to realize on some of the plays that they ran to him, come on, man, he had no blocking. I don't care who you is as a running back. If you ain't got nobody blocking for you, what's the expectation for you to make something out of nothing? It's damn near impossible. Even a great running backs can't make something out of nothing every time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Got a point.
you know, and then Shanahan even said we wasn't trying to play him that much. He had been battling with a little ankle injury. I didn't even think he was gonna play till I seen him when he wasn't on the roster for the people that wasn't playing. So then I
Right.
realized, okay, well, you didn't battle through. So man, look, everybody, was some of my I love my family. My always say for 24/7 family. I love them, but a lot of them was calling for Sermon to be cut and get rid of and kicked to the curb and all of that. That boy ain't going nowhere. Shanahan gonna use him, bro. And I'm trying to tell y'all that he might not be in the pecking order of getting a lot of carries, but y'all just well, I got my own thoughts on that. I ain't gonna get into all the details right now just for the sake of time. But he ain't going nowhere. I'll tell you like that. He ain't going nowhere, though. He gonna be on that roster some kind of way. Whether it's the practice squad or the regular 53, he gonna be on there, dude. So I just all I'm gonna say on that. But overall, like I said, Purdy look good. The defense look good. Drake Jackson look good. They got a couple picks. Odom got a pick. The other little guy got a pick. You know what I'm saying? They shit. Minnesota wind up trading for Nick Mullins. Kellen Mond looks so bad out there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the defense gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, overall it was a good win, man, and now everybody looking forward to this. This first half against the Texans.
All right, bro. Before we kind of jump to that, and I guess what's been going on at practice, two players in particular I won't hit on. You mentioned
Mm,
Jackson. Definitely flashed a few times. You know what I'm saying? Couple good press.
mm,
Uh, I think ultimately we could kind of see he should. Well, we already know, but you could see why. I guess he gonna be a rotational guy, and ultimately let's start that out there. Uh,
mm.
Bosa. So impressed by Jackson.
Oh yeah. Because when he played the first game and he got the shoulder injury, everybody was holding their breath, thought it was going to be something catastrophic or bad. Wound up
Right.
being a stinger. Then he was right back at practice, and then you see in the game where he getting the pressures, he playing the run, and even D'Amico was saying in the press of the day, it ain't just about pass rushing. You got to be able to strain in the run, which means you got to be able to play that run. You know what I'm saying? On your way to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They hell on fire. They main goal is to kill that quarterback, but on the way, if that running
Yeah.
back come through, they smash him too. You know
Kill
what I'm saying?
everything
So
on the
yeah,
way.
yeah, exactly. So they gotta be able to play the run and set that edge. And so man, this dude got this athletic ability, and one thing about him, he humble. You know what I'm saying? He coming into a great situation because he learning under such good defense alignment, great defense alignment. So yeah, not only he gonna be a rotational guy, I ain't saying he gonna supplant somebody starting by the end of the year. That might be next year, depending on how the free agency stuff going, all of that. But he definitely gonna be in a rotation. He definitely gonna be in the pass rush packages that they have, and we should have an expectation that really he gonna at least get 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 sacks, depending on how much he play. Because right now, if you look at it, you know what I'm saying, you got Ebby Khan ahead of you. You probably got Omenihu ahead of you too. But that don't mean you ain't gonna get no run. And as you get more comfortable and more in tune with the scheme, and you start playing in the game and start flashing your potential and your confidence and stuff grow, then man, the sky the limit for Drake Jackson, man. They stole Drake. They done stole a lot of players in this draft, honestly, dog. You think about it. I was thinking about that um the other day, I think, going back to 1986, Bill Walsh, the 86 draft. That was a draft. They drafted John Taylor and Rathman and Haley and all of them boys, and it helped propel them to a Super Bowl. Well, these last two drafts can help propel them to a championship, bro, because Womack looking good out there. Uh,
Yeah.
Buford looking good out there. Drake Jackson looking good out there. You know what I'm saying? And some of them undrafted free agents that they had, like the Masons and the Contreras, right to the worlds, they looking good out there. So we didn't set it though, man. And I think somebody then put it out there, man. Don't even worry about the first and second round. This draft from the third round back to undrafted free agents. That's where y'all stealing all of the players. Fifth round back, y'all getting gems out there. So
Oh, and it's
yeah,
funny.
man. Jackson gonna be a beast out there for him, bro. He gonna
Yeah,
be a
because
beast
with
for him.
Jackson, it kind of reminded me. He reminded me of Bosa early, and I say that like he getting the
Mm,
pressure, and he right there is just a second away from making the sack. You're
mm,
disrupting it, but you're not. You're just a. And
yeah.
ultimately, we know what Nick did. So yeah, nah, Mason, bro. Let's hit on him before we get out. I know you was talking about Sermon, and we kind of touched on it last week. I'm kind of with some of the brothers off the always 24/7. I ain't
Yeah.
necessarily saying you got to get rid of him, but I'm definitely saying he kind of looking like the odd man out, depending on how they want to play it with Hasty. But Mason looked pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And with
Yeah, I
Elijah
love.
Mitchell being hurt, you figure, and we gonna get to Jeff Wilson, but tell me about Mason.
Yeah, Mason look good out there, bro. 4 quarter. He got that one hand always one cut, one cutting straight ahead, and took it to. And I was watching the press of the day. You know what I'm saying, this afternoon, and he was talking. They was asking him about the one cut, scheme, and he's like, "It fit me. It fit me. It do. You see it. You know what I'm saying? You see him on the one play where they in the red zone, they run a little inside zone. He come right through there like a Mack truck. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, and he physical. Look, I got love for Trey Sermon. I ain't afraid to say it. I still think he gonna contribute at some point. because just of the fact of, God forbid, somebody get hurt. Elijah should be back, but can we depend upon him for 16 games? Jeff Wilson been hurt in the past. Can we depend upon him? TDP, you a rookie. Now you flashing and you got that pop too. You like to bring that wood, but you got smashed that one play by number 44 out there.
Yeah.
So you got to be mindful, but you got to be mindful of dishing a lick, but also receiving it. You see what I'm saying? So look, I ain't, y'all know I love y'all to death. Y'all my family. 24/7, y'all know I love y'all to death. I'm telling y'all, Trey Sermon gonna be a factor for his old dog. It's just me. Nah, the answer that have to be answered by the coaching staff is do you keep him on a 53 or you try to get him through waivers to get to the practice squad? Because if he flashing, another team see that, they'll try to get him. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Now I heard somebody was saying they might keep 5 running backs and have the 1 fullback. They might go light somewhere else to keep all the running backs because they don't want to lose none. And that's why I'm saying, if you put him on a 53, then maybe you take him from another position. Or do you take a chance of letting him, once you cut down to 53, and then you refill out your practice squad, taking a chance of putting him out there, for somebody to claim him off waivers or whatever. I don't think they won't let him go, so I think he might make the 53, or they gonna keep all the running backs because we know they want to run the ball, and that's what I'm saying. At some level, Trey Sermon gonna get some carries. He might not get a lot of them, but if he healthy and everybody else, and I knock on wood, God forbid, be hurt, he gonna get some running there. We talked about this last week. Shanahan gonna give him a chance until he prove he can't do it out there. And really, if you look at the carries he got in the first 2 games, the first game was better than the second game because he had the first string offensive line. And all I'm looking at with Trey Sermon is, okay, you make the cut, you go upfield. Ain't time for all of that dancing and all of that. He ain't did none of the dancing. He took the ball where the blocking was supposed to go, but if you got more defenders than you got people to block, then what you expect him to do? You could say the same thing with Mason. You could say the same thing with TDP. Nah, they playing this 3rd game on Thursday in Houston. He gonna have the first string offensive line. He should be the starter. Now, if he's starting and if he dancing and if he getting smashed back there with the first string offensive line, then I retract every damn thing I said and say, you know what? Yeah, maybe they should get rid of him. Now, I don't expect him to do that, but it's another opportunity. It's another opportunity for him to show that he can take that one cut, whether it's inside or outside zone, and get upfield and make something happen. So we gonna find out.
Well, I think Mason hopefully get a couple touches with the first string. But you
I think
mentioned the
so.
53. You think they're gonna keep 3 quarterbacks, or you think they're gonna like Purdy to the
Nah.
practice squad or something?
Well, see, that's the thing they was talking about too today, because Purdy looked so good that now you didn't kind of let the other teams in the league see Purdy. And do you keep the 3 to keep him on the roster so he don't get took by somebody else, or do you keep the 2 and I don't think they're gonna get rid of
Because they
Sudfeld
paid
because,
them the money.
well, they paid him the money, and he, even though he haven't played, he got more experience just in terms
In the
of,
system.
yeah, you see what I'm saying? And then I think that was one of the beat writers. I think that was David Lombardi was saying that he got the majority of the second team snaps after Trey, because they game planning for this game, since it's the dress rehearsal game. And Purdy didn't get that many snaps. And they was kind of trying to figure out if maybe that was by design to not let, Purdy be out there for the other teams to look at. But he played so good in this game, and he showed a lot of different qualities that, man, now, personally, I think they should try to keep him on a 53, but if you keep 3, then you're sacrificing somewhere else. And right now, you need all the depth in other areas where you can get, truthfully. Now, if they could get him to the practice squad without him being claimed by somebody, that would be great. So they got a decision to make with that. You know, maybe they go with two tight ends, but then you don't want to take a chance with one of the tight ends getting hurt. So I don't know, bro. I like Purdy. I think if he can get to the practice squad without being waived, that would be the best case scenario. But somebody might snap him up. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of they see the potential there. And so I don't think he's gonna surpass. I would be shocked if they released Sudfeld. Because I think Sudfeld will get picked up by somebody, even though he haven't really played. I don't think Shanahan will go with a second year and a rookie quarterback back there. So that I just don't see it. But I would love for him to keep Purdy if they could get him to the practice squad without him being waived or picked up by somebody.
Okay. Well, we gonna move on and start talking about practice, getting ready for this game Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
We know we're gonna hit Trey, but we was just on the running back, so I guess we could kind of stay there. Your boy Jeff Wilson, they say been looking good, looking real healthy. We know Elijah not gonna be available, so we looking at him. I guess. Well, I guess you thinking Trey Sermon probably start, or him and Wilson, or split the reps or whatever. As far as the game Thursday, and if Elijah Mitchell isn't healthy, who do you think ultimately would get the start? Would be the starter, Jeff Wilson, or would they actually start Sermon, or could Mason or one of those other guys, TDP, could one of them sneak up and get the job?
Well, I'll say for this game, I could see where they might run Jeff Wilson and Sermon. I think they're gonna start Sermon. They know what Jeff Wilson is. They know what he's capable of doing and producing and all of that. And if Elijah working his way back, which Shanahan said today he should be healthy by the first game, you ain't trying to risk Wilson, because I could see where they would start Wilson against the Bears, and then you either got the TDP or you have Sermon in the mix, backing him up if Elijah not healthy. But for the sake of this game, I could see where they start Sermon, because they need to let Sermon play to getting
Gotcha.
reps.
See what he really
You
got.
know, yeah, I think they're gonna start Sermon. I think you'll see Mason and you'll see TDP. I don't think you're gonna really see Jeff Wilson that much, honestly,
Gotcha.
because
I
I
feel
think
you
they
on that
want,
though.
yeah, because you looking at, like I say, you know what Jeff is, you know what he is capable of. He ain't got nothing to prove out there, and you don't
Right.
want to take a chance getting him hurt, because, like I said, Elijah coming back, hopefully by full strength by the first game, you're not gonna really give him a lot of carries because he's just working his way back. So you want to have as many healthy running backs as possible. And that's what I'm saying. I can see the scenario where they keep all of them just because of injuries. You know what I mean? And so I think they saw Sermon. They're going to try to give him as many opportunities. I think this is going to be the game where he get a lot of run, just in terms of trying to get a rhythm and a flow with the first string offense.
Right.
They're going to let Trey throw the ball too, I believe. They're going to try to mix in the run and the pass. But I think this going to be the game where Trey Sermon going to get his run. You'll have TDP or Mason backing him up. You'll have Hasty in the mix as well. And that's how they're going to run it for the third game. And then after that, then it's the game, the real stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't think they're going to, if I was him, I wouldn't even run Jeff Wilson out there. I would just let him sit. You know what he is. You know what he's capable of. He's produced for you. He done came through for you in clutch situations. So there ain't no sense in putting him out there and risking getting him hurt, and then you're still trying to work Elijah Mitchell back to be the week one starter. So that's how I look at it.
All right, bro. Well, like I say, we know we're getting ready for the game. We know the starters at max will play the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And all eyes on Trey. We've been getting, I guess, mixed reviews, which has kind of been the status quo as far as what's been going on at practice. One day they're saying he, kind of lights out. Other days the performance might not be as high for whatever reasons, whether it's inaccuracy or drops. Recently threw a couple picks. I think all in all, it's just, part of the territory, and we had some of the starting cornerbacks coming back, so probably
Mm-hmm.
made it a little tougher as far as the windows. But uh, what you're expecting from Trey, uh, like you say, Shanahan gonna let him do his thing a little bit, but ultimately, what you're looking to see, besides him getting out of the game healthy.
Well, that's number one, of course. You know, everybody really, get out of the game healthy, no injury. Man, look, let's just run the offense. Somebody asked Kyle that in the presser, and he was like, "Man, I just want him to command the huddle, run the offense, not turn the ball over and execute the offense and the plays that's called." So on some level, that's what we want to see. Most people want to see the chunk plays and want to see him throw the ball downfield. I think, depending on how the Florida game goes and field position and, what play calls is called, and that'll kind of determine, how he look.
Right.
But man, come on, can you take the team downfield and get a score? Preferably a touchdown, but if it's a field goal, that's good. Just get in a rhythm offensively. Get in rhythm running the ball. Get in rhythm throwing the ball to Ayuk and Kittle and Debo. You know, let's kind of just see what the offense will look like when we incorporating Danny Green. I mean, and not Danny Green. Uh, what's the boy
Gray.
name there? Yeah, Danny Gray. I don't know why I say Danny Green. Thank basketball. Danny Gray. Um, the Ray McLeod. You know what I'm saying? Use check. Let's just see you use the weapons and the offense that's available to you. Let's see you throw the ball, whether it's deep, short, intermediate, with accuracy, with touch. And let's just, like I say, if we get the ball first, man, let's go down and get a good drive, man, score, and get that rhythm, because that's what we're looking for. We know y'all ain't gonna show no specific plays for Chicago. It's gonna be,
Oh
and
yeah.
y'all gonna game plan, but it ain't gonna be the real game plan that we looking to see. So yeah, that's what I want to see. I'm gonna see you run the offense. I'm gonna see you make the passes. If it's 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 10, whatever the case may be, can you get a first down? Can you move the chains? Can you keep the offense out there? Let's see the boot action and some of those things. You straight drop back, and whether it's from shotgun or under center, you read the defense, you read the coverage, you make the throws. That's what we want. That's what I want to see from it.
Okay. So overall expectations for the offense, basically just good execution, come out healthy, get the looks from the players that you need to see more or less for the last game.
hmm Yeah, because like I said, we ain't gonna see these boys for 2 weeks till the 11th. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's see y'all execute. Excuse me. Let's see y'all go downfield. If y'all got to convert 3rd downs, whatever the case may be. If you got the chunk play, depending on where you at on the field, take your shot. But like Shanahan said, man, let's see you run the offense the way that you capable of running it. And like I said, you aren't gonna see the same defensive look from Houston because it's a totally different defense. So you should have some success moving the ball on some level. And let's just see what we saw against Green Bay, the pocket awareness and stepping up and throwing on a run and sliding if you need to. Don't take no leg out there. Let's just be safe and cautious with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see them execute the offense because that's what is going to be required for us to get to the next level. Because we know what ultimately defense is going to start doing against it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to stack that box and still make you prove on some level you can make the throws. And we know he's capable of making the throws. So you might even see that a little bit in this game. So if they come with that 8-man front and they come with a pressure, can you adjust the line protection and see the hot, all that stuff? And I believe that he'll be able to do that with no problem. So yeah, I wanted to see him be in command of everything in the offense out there on Thursday.
All right, man. On the defense, second half, we can flip to the defensive side of the ball. Just made an acquisition, I believe. I know his last name Gibson. Is it TP Gibson?
Yeah, Tayshawn Gibson, yeah, it was the safety with the I think he played for Cleveland, was a pro bowler with the Bears. Yeah, they signed him to a 1-year contract. I mean,
And
well,
look, quote unquote, a ball hawk. Like I think he might have like 27 interceptions or something in his career, which I
yeah,
think
he nice.
bode well for the secondary. You know what I'm saying? Seeing as though as a whole, they're a lot tighter on the defense. We know what the front end gonna do. Uh, so let's kind of talk about him, his acquisition to the team. I guess what that could mean for the various more. We know Jimmy gonna try to get back, but if he not, to me, you got a little bit more flexibility with Oldham. Figure they gonna keep him if nothing else for special teams. You got
Hmm.
him. You bring Gibson over. You know you got Hufanga. So let's talk about Gibson, and then we'll move on. Let's yeah.
Well, I mean,
Do you
good
see him making
acquisition
a
by them.
roster ultimately? You think?
Well, I mean, they just signed him, so I think somebody was saying he probably don't make the roster. Well, I mean, you got Odom, you got Ufanga, you got Tavares Moore, who could fill in for Jimmy till he come back. But they trying to cover themselves just in terms of having more depth and more bodies there. I think he's a proven Pro Bowl player, so why not try to bring him to your roster? Because realistically, Jimmy, he ain't supposed to play the first game, maybe not the first two. Now I had heard that Tavares Moore was running with the second team, George Odom, and Hufanga was a starting safety on defense. Odom is a good player, bro. Not just on special teams, but at that safety position. So I like T Moore. I think it's a combination of you getting a little rusty and getting burned a little bit and trying to work your way back. But you still gonna be a fact out there, whether it's special teams or in those safety packages. Because really, I think they want George Odom to be more the special teams guy, even though T Moore had played special teams. I think just athletically wise, I think they would want T Moore to be in those packages. But I ain't gonna sleep on Odom because he made plays. He made the play in the Minnesota game. He made them in Indianapolis. So they really did good picking him up. So as far as Gibson go, I think if I was them, I would try to get him to the roster. You know what I'm saying, and let him be on the roster. Because like I say, realistically, they're saying 1 or 2 games for Jimmy, but hamstrings is tricky. You can never have
Right.
enough good quality football players, no matter what position they playing. So we know this dude is proven. He's shown himself to be proven before. So if you can bring him to the roster and keep him however long you need to keep him till Jimmy come back, then so be it. I ain't got no problem with him being on the roster.
All right. We know Travarius Ward out. Hammy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
E-Man just coming back. Uh, looking, I guess, picking up where he left off from all reports. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have Demo, who they say been getting reps at the nickel as well as outside, and Womack, who every time I hear them talk about Womack, they say he has quote unquote sticky coverage. So I'm just gonna nickname him Sticky. They
Mm-hmm.
say he also been playing, getting reps outside as well as at the nickel. Uh, let's talk about these cornerbacks, bro. I think ultimately, if Ward is not available, I would say start Womack and E-Man, and then you bring Demo in, and you could kind of rotate Womack and Demo wherever you want them as far as playing a nickel and the other one playing outside, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of see what you get. But what you think about the secondary? Because again, think we're gonna be able to get a lot of turnovers. I know we talk about them a little bit, but seeing as what they've been saying going on at practice this week, what you think?
Well, I mean, E-Man came back to practice and got 2 picks, I think, um, right off jump. And all the expectations is that Lil Mooney will be back for the first game as well. So I'm not worrying about them two being
Okay.
out there. I believe they'll be out there. Nah, it's just good that Diamador Lenore and Womack getting cross trained in those different positions. Because you gotta have flexibility, God forbid somebody do get hurt. If your nickel man get hurt, which will be Womack, then Demo can get in there and do it. And vice versa. So I think that's good. Now, Shanahan saying that Amber Thomas is hurt.
Mm.
I don't know what the injury is, but yeah, he was hurt. He tried to play or tried to get ready to play, but he just wasn't up to be able to do it. So he dinged up. And I just don't see why they don't keep him neither. You know, him and Trey Sermon is in the same boat. You know, they both are third round picks who kind of underachieved. And, you know, the jury is out on them still, but I think that they still gonna have an opportunity at some point to make plays because it's a long season. People get hurt, and you know, worst case scenarios, Amber Thomas just play special teams and do good on that, and we'll be pleased. Now we talked about Demo. Demo is dog out there. You know what I'm saying? He physical. So he fit that inside role nice. Playing close to the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? Got the courage. You know, maybe not the blazing speed, but it's enough speed to run with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I always did like Demo because Demo was a dog. You know what I'm saying? He was physical. And I said it before, you can't not play for D'Amico Ryans or the San Francisco 49ers under Kyle Shanahan and not be physical. You ain't bringing your wood or bringing a wood, you ain't going to be out there. So, you know, I think for Amber Thomas, you know, injuries and inconsistency have really messed you up. Um, and you got to get more physical and more focused on what you're doing. But they're not gonna get rid of him because they know what he did last year, and he still got so much potential to tap into. It's just taking him a little long. But the Womack and Demo inside, I think will be fine. You know, Womack got the potential to be really good because he do get his hands on the ball. Because K1 was a beast, but he never got his hands on enough balls.
Right.
You know, realistically. So yeah, I think Womack could get 4 or 5 maybe picks this year, just with the way our defense gonna be coming after you, and then the way they playing that coverage. So I'm expecting a lot of turnovers and turnovers for either taking it to the house or getting good field position for Trey to get them short fields for us to take advantage of that with scoring touchdowns. So yeah, I expect um, a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions, some house calls this year from the defense as well.
Oh man, look, that's definitely a plus. We always are willing to take those. D line. Heard both are having practice. I guess the last two practices, uh, from all accounts, just been held out. I guess for rest. So
Mm-hmm.
who you expecting to start? I guess Thursday. I'm figuring maybe Jackson. But if not, who you think gonna get the most reps? Not really. Well, it doesn't really matter. But who do you want to see get the reps? I guess, uh, as far as the D line is concerned.
Well, I know Kyle was saying in his presser that Javon Kinlaw not gonna probably play this game because he
I
played
figured
the
that.
Saturday game, and then you know they don't want to take a chance, you know, with him getting hurt, and then with that long flight as well. So, and then man, he was a beast out there against Minnesota too. You could see all his confidence just come full out, and that's
Yeah.
beautiful, right, man? Yeah, this boy ready to break out, dog. He healthy. He ain't worrying about the injury. Yeah. Justin Fields, bro, it's gonna be a long day for you, bro. It's gonna be a real long day for you, bro. Just saying, I'm just putting it out there. But I mean, as for the defensive line, man, I don't care who they put in there. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna play Bosa, whether he was, you know, not there, whatever. I don't think they was gonna play him at all. They don't need to see Bosa out there. I mean, if they play the other guys, that's fine. You got enough depth and enough rotational guys when nobody shouldn't be playing too many snaps and putting themselves at injury or being hurt that way, God forbid. So, man, just play the best guys out there, rotate them like y'all gonna do in a regular season. Keep everybody fresh, keep that engine revving, and you know, get after Davis Mills and they quarterbacks, and they'll be fine out
Okay. I heard your boy Greenlaw had a pretty nice interception at practice.
there.
Man on man coverage on Kittle, one hand interception. Uh, we're gonna finish up with the linebacking core. Uh, I like my boy old Flanagan Files. I like to see him out there doing this thing. Uh, I don't know how much time, on defense the starter's gonna get or who gonna really get what time. But our linebacking core, bro, one of the best in the business. What you think about the guys behind those guys?
Well, yeah, all three is probably the best three up there. And then they got Oren Burks, they got Flanagan Files, they got McCrary Ball, they got the guy number 58 who I'm drawing a blank on. So they got some depth and some young guys behind them. So I mean, you know, if God forbid one of the linebackers get hurt, I would have the confidence in Oren Burks and Flanagan Files to step in and make as many plays as they could. They're not going to be on the level of Aziz and Dre, uh, you know, Fred. Obviously, they all world
Right.
players, but I mean, they good enough to get it done. And that's the main. That's the main thing we would want. We know we shouldn't even have the expectation that you would be any of those three. You just be you and you ball till you fall. That's all we that's all we need from you. So yeah, man, they got depth. And that's the thing, man. You got depth at every position. So if one get hurt, God forbid, then somebody else step in and you're not really missing a heartbeat. You're really just going on. Now, obviously, it's not gonna be on the same level and intensity of that person, especially if it was like all pro Fred, for example. But at the end of the day, they know the system, they hungry, and they're gonna be physical out there. And that's all we can ask of them. If they do that, that'll more than help, make up the loss of the particular player that got hurt, you know, in the season or before the season.
All right, brother. Well, on that level, that kind of wraps that. Y'all make sure y'all tune in Thursday. Like I said, we'll be hot off the press. Here to cover that first half. Definitely looking forward to it. Like we say, seeing as many of the starters as we can for as long as we can. Like we say, we know we're gonna see Trey probably up until the first half, so we'll get to evaluate him and the rest of the fellas. Before we get out of here, brother, um, I'm gonna ask you two. I guess I'm gonna ask you two questions. Give me a little light story on them. I guess. Tell me some of your favorite 49er players. Couple of your favorites. I'll give you mine, but give me a couple of your favorite players.
Like for all time or recently, currently, past.
No, just yeah. I mean, period. Like just some of your favorites. It could be from any era. You feel me?
Okay, well, yeah, well, I would have to say Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. That's why I became a 49er fan watching them play. Just the chemistry and the synergy that they had out on the field, the way they just connected on everything. And so, yeah, I would say those are probably the first two that I watched that drew me to become a 49er fan was Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Now, um, as far as like maybe favorites of all time, it's a lot of players that been played for 'em that I watched from like 10 years old to 48. So it's been a minute watching these boys. I mean, I don't know if I would say I know I would say those are my two players that, like I say, made me fall in love with the 49ers and become 49er fans. I would say, um, and I was thinking on that, like who was some of the maybe the hardest or the toughest 49er players. I would have to say Frank Gore was one of the toughest I ever saw, play as a 49er. Um, Justin Smith was another one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would say my favorite team probably of all of the teams that I've watched would be the 1989 49ers when we went back to back Super Bowl champions 14-2. That's one of the greatest offenses ever assembled, boy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talk about 94, but that 89 squad, boy, was a monster, dog. So um I would say that was maybe my favorite team. 94 is up there too. Don't get me wrong. I don't want nobody saying, "Oh man, what about 94?" Trust me, I was living out there in 94, so I can tell you what 94 is about. You know what I'm saying? But that 89 squad, when you had Joe, you had Jerry, you had John Taylor in his prime years, you had Brent Jones in his prime years. Roger Craig was still in his prime. It was maybe kind of, coming down a little bit. You had Ratman, you know what I'm saying, out there. You had the offensive line, and then the defense wasn't as maybe popular as the 94 defense or even the 84 defense, which was, had Ronnie Lott and Williamson and all of them boys as Pro Bowlers, but that 89 defense had some good players on it too. So yeah, man, they just steamrolled in the playoffs. I don't think they gave up like maybe 20 points the whole playoffs. And they
Yeah.
scored over 100 and some points in the playoffs. So I'd have to go back and look it up. So I would say the two players that started me on the be a 49er fan was Montana and Rice. My favorite team probably is the 89 team. And some of the toughest players would be, like I say, Justin Smith, Frank Gore. I had to put Brian Young in there, especially after he had messed his leg up and came back off of that injury. I remember watching that Monday night game. I had to probably say Garrison Hurst too. I like Garrison Hurst. When he was a running back before he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of them, dog, that, through the years that I, just watching and stuff that I liked. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would say that for me is the players that come to mind. I'd have to think back, on it a little bit, more. But, those are the ones that come to mind, like just right off the bat.
Well, obviously, you talking Jerry Rice and Joe, you can't go wrong. So, definitely like them boys and respect them. You know what I'm saying? Always, if you're talking about a receiver you want to be, you was imitating Rice, at least for the longest time. Some of my favorites, I know this one controversial, but I like him. Arguably the second best wide receiver to ever do it. He better than Randy Moss in my opinion, and that's T.O. I love me some T.O. You know what I'm saying? I just
Okay.
think T.O. productive as hell, and
Mm-hmm.
he a phenom. He ain't had the best hands, but he can still catch them deep, and he'll take a 5-yard slant to the crib. uh, Vernon Davis, I'm big on VD. I used to
Okay.
love Vernon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
From what he went through with Singletary
Mm-hmm.
to when they drafted
Yeah.
him and he was crying to him
Yeah.
being, all pro and the leader on the team, loved him. Obviously Willis and Bo, that
Yeah.
synergy.
Yeah.
And on a low, bro, like Quietly kept two of my favorites, dog.
Yeah.
Deshaun Ghostin and Whitner, bro. Them
Yeah.
two dudes back there
Yeah.
at that safety
Yeah.
position, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to catch that ball, really.
Mhm.
And it was like either one of them, it was interchangeable as far as we both hitting. It's not like one hitting and one you could get it from either one of 'em, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my boys, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I got you. Cause I mean, if you really think about it, in the last, well, from Harbaugh through Shanahan, we ain't gonna try to relive Jim Tom Sewell and Chip
Yeah, Chip.
Kelly. Oh
Yeah,
God.
Chip
Yeah.
off the
Okay.
old block. Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't try to, but I mean, if you take them out, really, this era of 49er football have been physical football. Harbaugh brought that physicality, you know, and Shanahan bring it, but Shanahan bring the X's and O's that Jim Harbaugh could dream on it to do. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But it's still physical football if you think about it. So yeah, man. I mean, and I was even thinking back to like maybe my favorite moment being a 49er fan was when Joe brought the boys back to win the Super Bowl against Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite memories. You know, they was It was 16-13. In the fourth quarter, Joe drove him down the field 90 yards and hit Taylor for the winning touchdown. But you a 49er fan, your heart pumping out of your chest because man, it's like we got a chance to win it, and is they gonna come through? And you see the greatness of Joe in that moment, and you see the greatness of Jerry in that moment, and just how the whole team just rallied, and really that team really really underachieved that year. They was like 7-6 at one point, and they had to win the last 3 games to get the 10-6 to get in, and they got in and they beat Minnesota in the divisional because they had lost to Minnesota the year before in the divisional, and they beat them in the divisional. Then they went to Soldier Field when it was like whatever degrees it was, and everybody was picking the Bears because they didn't think them boys could deal with that weather and that physicality. But they always slept on our defense, and Joe and Jerry made them plays, and they won that, and then they got to the Super Bowl and won it. So that wasn't the best of the Super Bowl winning teams, but it might have been the team that got hot at the right time. You know what I'm saying? And let the momentum carry them through. So that's another team that I think about, and out of all the teams that I didn't watch through the years. So but yeah, I like Whitney and old Golston back there. I got to give it to you on that one. You know what I'm saying? That was a good combination. At that position, and and everything. So yeah, I gotta give props on that too.
Hey, dog, one of my memories, bro, before we get out of here, and it's not a good memory, but Small, I wasn't a fan. You always been a fan, right? But I do remember when they smashed Joe Montana, the dude from the Giants.
Oh yeah, that's the one game. Yeah,
When they
it's a
hit
few
Joe,
games that
arm stuck, dove him. I
Mhm.
remember that hit. I remember. Look, I had you in the house. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
damn, the dynasty was damn over right there. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we gonna move on from that. We didn't
Yeah.
retool this a new year, but
Mhm.
just wanted to get a couple of your memories and stuff on the
Yeah.
team. But like we say, y'all smash the like button. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Y'all make sure y'all be back here Thursday. We like I said, we'll be getting it in as we always do. P Warrior and myself. Y'all know tomorrow. Check out the Always Faithful crew. And for myself, Benjamin, that's good. P Warrior _9er. This is the Faithful Boys Podcast. And what we do over here, big bro.
Bang bang till we can't no more, baby.